Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to episode 1 of... Welcome to episode 1 of the Right Now. Get it? Because that thing that you're procrastinating, you're going to go do it right now. That studying you said you were going to start 2 hours ago, you're going to go start that right now. That YouTube channel you said you were going to start months ago, you're gonna go start that right now? Ugh, yikes. That's me holding myself accountable. I have been saying I wanted to start this YouTube channel for over a year now. Last year, literally exactly around this time, I had a whole YouTube video filmed, edited, ready to post, and I let self-doubt and procrastination get the best of me. Guys, those are the two biggest killers of success. And that's probably the biggest and hardest lesson that I had to learn last year. I missed out on doing so much last year, so much, all because I procrastinated and let self-doubt and others' opinions and what people might think of me get in my head. That is a terrible, terrible thing to do yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because the only opinion that matters is your own. So you need to get up, remind yourself, literally stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself, you got this, you're strong, you can do it, your opinion is the only one that matters, you're safe, everything is gonna be okay, God has got my back, and I am divinely guided. And I worked on myself really hard, lots of self-reflection, got lots of things done with myself internally, mentally, emotionally in 2025. And I am now at a point where I don't let anything get under my skin anymore. And that leads me into what today's topic is going to be: turning your pain into power. Turning your pain into power. This is another really, really huge lesson that I had to learn last year, and it took a while. It wasn't something that I just learned just in last year. It took years to finally accomplish this, and this is a combination of balancing your energy, grounding yourself, and learning self-confidence, and also accepting a few concepts that can be kind of a tough pill to swallow. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So to start off, we're going to talk about a few key concepts that you have to understand. These are things that if you do not accept them, you will never understand how to channel your pain into power. You will never understand how to do it because you will be stuck in a cycle, a constant cycle. So these couple of concepts, especially if you are an overthinker and you're an emotional person, I'm one of those people, by the way, it can be very, very difficult to learn how to do this because when you're emotional and you're an overthinker, things get under your skin a lot. And you also keep yourself stuck in a cycle, thinking about stuff over and over again, overanalyzing, trying to figure out what's what. So once you learn how to do this, which again won't be easy, you're still gonna do it, by the way. Let me point that out. I'm gonna be so honest with you. You are still going to do it. You're still going to end up overthinking things. You're still going to end up stressing out. It's more so about learning what a healthy amount is and when to snap yourself out of it. That is the key important thing here. And that is the stuff I'm going to talk about today in this video. I am going to share kind of the things that I implemented to help me snap myself out of doing that if there's ever a situation that occurs or someone hurt me, someone said something and it really bugged me, which happened a lot last year. It happened a lot. I went through quite a bit with quite a few people last year, and it was probably the best yet worst year of my life. And I think a lot of us can say that about 2025, right? But learning how to implement these couple of things really helped me learn how to channel my emotions and my energy into other things, helping me snap out of it, and also just grounding myself and keeping myself balanced. Because at the end of the day, like I said in the beginning of the video, your opinion is the only opinion that matters. You've got one life to live. You don't want to screw it up. You don't want to screw it up. And on top of that, at the end of the day, your peace is what matters the most, because you are going to be with you for the rest of your life. The first thing that you need to come to terms with, the very first thing, this has to be accepted first before you can learn how to do anything else, is that pain is inevitable. Emotions are inevitable. You are a human being. You are bound to feel things. But how you respond and how you react to a situation or to someone, that is what really sets the tone for how you are going to grow and transform from this, how you're going to move forward. And it's what's really going to show your resilience and your strength. That is probably the biggest thing. If you can accept this big concept, you will begin to roll the ball into learning how to really channel your emotions. And I think understanding that it's a beautiful thing to feel so intensely is important too. This might sound crazy to some people, but I think it's such a blessing that we as humans get to experience such intense emotions. And I think it's way better to embrace those said intense emotions in the moment rather than bottling it up, screwing with your mental, and blowing up later, in which later you are probably going to have some collateral damage and hurt some people who don't deserve to be hurt. So it's better. And when you come to terms with this concept that emotions are inevitable, it helps you accept the fact that you are feeling the way that you are feeling. It helps you not be in denial when things happen. So that is probably the biggest thing. And I know as an emotional thinker, it can be so difficult to come to terms with this, but been there, done that. I know, I understand. Last year, there were a couple of situations that occurred with some people, and this has happened throughout the years before I fully had learned how to channel my energy. But every time something would happen, I would dig myself such a deep hole that I felt like I could not come out of it, all because I was spiraling in my head trying to understand why someone would want to do something like that to me. What did I do to make them react that way or behave that way with me? And I couldn't comprehend it. I could not. For the life of me, I could not figure out what I had done to hurt that person. And because I was spiraling in my head, I was rattling my brain, wasting all of this energy on trying to figure it out, when in all reality, it's because deep down I knew I hadn't done something wrong. And that might sound cocky or arrogant or egotistical, but I know that I have a heart of gold. I know I'm a good person, and I know that I treat people really well. So I felt like I needed to understand from their perspective why they wanted to do what they did in order to give myself closure. No. Sweetheart, stop yourself right there if that's what you're doing, because in all reality, you did not do anything wrong. If you're rattling your brain and wasting that much energy trying to figure out what the hell you did, clearly you didn't do anything. Clearly you simply just couldn't control what occurred. And you need to stop yourself right there also, because trying to understand what they did is not going to give you closure. It's honestly probably going to just piss you off more. Because if you already can't understand why they did what they did, that's a blessing in itself, okay? Because that just shows how pure your heart and your soul is towards people. Because clearly you would have never done anything like that in their position, ever. Ever. So stop yourself right there. Don't do that. Don't waste your energy trying to rattle your brain, trying to figure it out. It's very obvious that it's just something you could not control. That's our next concept. That's our next concept. You cannot control others. So why are you focusing your energy on things that you cannot control? And because you are focusing your energy on things that you cannot control, you are allowing that thing to control you. You have to stop yourself if you find yourself doing that. You have to, because that is what makes you dig a deeper hole. Trying to figure out something that you had no control of is only going to make you spiral even further. And that is not stress that you need. You don't need that in your life. You need to bring yourself down, ground yourself right then and there. You cannot let other people have control over you and your emotions. The only person that can control you, how you respond, and control your emotions is yourself. So why are you allowing a situation to take control over you? Why are you allowing a situation to manipulate your energy, the same energy that you can be putting towards something that is going to further your goals and help you do better in life and elevate you to the best version of yourself? Why are you doing that? Stop right there, right now. Stop. I'm sorry. I don't mean to yell at you. But sometimes you need to be yelled at. And I needed to be yelled at. Understand that you cannot control other people. They chose to do what they chose. Like I'm saying to you right now, that you control you control how you respond, and you control your emotions. Same goes for them. They control themselves, and they chose to do what they did. And again, the fact that you are sitting there rattling your brain trying to understand why they would do what they do, and you can't comprehend it, again, that says that you would have never even let that idea cross your head had you been in the same position. So that should further tell you that, oh, they really chose. They picked to do what they did to me. And if you were sitting there and you fully believe that you didn't deserve that, walk away. Walk away. Let go. Letting go is not the same as forgiveness, but that's a topic for a different video. That's a topic for another video. Letting go is for your own peace. So it's important that you let go and you ground yourself. But again, that does not equal forgiveness. You don't have to forgive the other person for what they've done. Topic for another video. Okay? But if you are sitting there and you're wasting your energy doing this, you're frankly going to get pissed at yourself at one point too. That happened to me. After I would dig this really deep hole that I felt like I couldn't come out of, I would finally snap out of it, and then I would end up being pissed at myself. I'm sitting at the bottom of this dug deep hole, sulking at the fact that, oh my gosh, I dug all this way, not noticing how far I have come down. And now I'm pissed at myself that I didn't snap out of this sooner. So if you can learn how to snap out of it faster, which is the methods I'm going to tell you about, you will not overthink anymore and not dig that hole. You just won't. And you'll feel so much better. Sorry guys, we had to shift from our car to our house. It's a little bit later in the day. But to continue the topic, like I said, if you can learn how to balance your energy, shift it, ground yourself, catch yourself in the moment, snap out of it, Nothing is ever going to get under your skin again. Ever. Ever. And when it comes to the topic of you can't control others, so why are you letting them control you and digging that hole and pissing yourself off more? You can do a couple of things. One of the things that helped me kind of come out of that cycle and kind of help me snap out of overthinking is instead of sitting there asking why someone did something over and over and over again and trying to analyze the situation over and over and over again, I started shifting the questions that I was asking myself. I changed the way my brain looked at the situation. Instead of going backwards and looking at what happened and asking, oh, maybe this is why they did it. Is this why they did it? Is that why they might have done that? Maybe it's because I said this. Start asking what you can do about it now. Is there something in the present moment that you can do to help the situation, help you guys move forward, help come to a resolution? Look at ways to solve the problem, not look at the problem over and over and over again, expecting a solution to be in it. There's not going to be a solution in it. Yes, it'll help you a little bit. Like there's a quote where it's like, when you write your problem down on a piece of paper, you've solved half of it. Only half, though. Your entire solution is not going to be in the problem. You still have to do some work to it, right? It's like math. They give you a word problem, and the answer is not going to be in the word problem. Yes, some of it is in there to help you solve it, but you have to start putting things down on the paper in order to solve that math problem. It's the same way. Same thing, same thing. You have to figure out if there's something you can do to move forward and find a solution and work towards something. Maybe it's particular steps. So shift your mind, flip that switch. Stop asking why something was done and start asking what you can do about it now. That's what you have to do. And another thing is when you do this, it's going to help you kind of snap out of sitting in your feelings for too long. Because when you sit in your emotions for too long and you don't get out of it, you start to allow that to consume you. That is the next concept. Learning how to let things hurt and learning how to feel your feels, but not letting it take over and consume you. Because at the end of the day, you choose whether or not to be broken. Like I said, you control you control your responses, you control how you react. You also control whether or not you're going to continue to be broken or you're going to get up and you're going to move on. You choose that. Again, pain is inevitable. It's a part of healing, but you need to be able to feel it, process it, and then learn from it and move on. If you're going to continue to bottle it up or sit in it, that's dangerous for your mentality. It's not good for you. And like I said earlier, you are going to blow up down the road. And people are going to become collateral damage, people who don't deserve the lash out or the hurt. And you need to be able to ground yourself and control that. Again, being an overthinker makes this really hard, really difficult. But there are healthy ways to do it. This is where my little method comes in. I've kind of found a little routine, if that makes sense, a little ritual almost to help me with these things. What I do is I will allow myself to feel my emotions. Embrace your emotions in the intensity that you are feeling them in the moment. Allow yourself to feel how you're feeling. Don't deny it, but also don't do anything hasty in the moment. Control yourself, compose yourself, because you want to make sure that when you do something, you do it with a clear head and a calm heart. Clear head, calm heart. So feel it. Feel it. And then reflect on it after that. Reflect how you like. For me, particularly, I reflect how I'm feeling by journaling or something arts and crafty. And mostly journaling is what I do. I write down my feelings and talk about the situation on paper while it's fresh. And then after that, I give myself time. Time is the biggest healer, guys. Give yourself a couple of days to calm down, clear your mind a little bit. Go back and read what you wrote. Go back, reflect on what you wrote. When I said earlier that writing your problem down on paper helps you solve half of it, you going back and looking at it, if you're not a writer, do a voice thread or something that you can go back and listen to. When you go back and you look back at what you wrote or what you said, right, you're going to be able to pick at things because you waited for your head to clear and then you went back and you listened to it with a clear head. You're going to be able to pick up on things. Maybe you'll pick out, oh, maybe this is what might have triggered that person. Maybe, just maybe. Or you might spark an idea of how you can move forward. Because in the heat of the moment, you have very cloudy thinking. You're not going to be able to think straight. Your emotions are high. Your blood might be boiling. And again, I know, been there, done that. It is not good. Nothing ever good comes out of lashing out in the moment. Ever. It always just makes things worse. Always, always. So do that. Take some time and make it known. Communicate that you need the time. If the other person is trying to come to you and talk to you and confront you, tell them you need time. You have every right to take time. Every right. So communicate that. And then once all is said and done, you've figured out a situation or solution to the situation, learn from it. I like to go back in after my head is clear and the situation's kind of dialed down a little bit, even if it's not fully solved. And I will write down what I feel like I learned from it. And then after that, I will go apply it. You need to make sure you apply it because you're not learning anything if you're not going to actually apply it. Right? And there's a lot of other ways you can channel your energy. This is the channeling part. Me journaling is channeling my energy. There's a lot of ways you can do this. I think another good way of doing this is kind of creating like a short-term goal or giving yourself a little project to do. For example, I made a scrapbook for someone really close to me as a little project for me to do with something that was going on with someone else, a situation I was dealing with. I took that time to channel my energy into creating something. Like I said, I'm a very artsy crafty person. And at the end of it, I was really proud of what I had completed. And I was really proud of myself for wanting to continue to do the things that I love to do, even though I was dealing with so much. And it made me feel a lot better, because quite frankly, I was proud of what I had made. And I was really, really happy to finally give it to the person I was close to. So create a short-term little goal or a project to do, whether that's getting in the gym or starting a new painting, or maybe you're like, you know what, I'm gonna give myself a little getaway, book a little vacay, spa day, just something where you can channel your energy into doing something else so you are not focusing so hard on the situation and the person that hurt you. Because like I said earlier, when you focus on that, you are going to allow it to take control over you. You need to break that. You need to snap out of it. And that's how you're going to do it. Journaling for me particularly though, whether you actually write it or you do like voice journals, I think that those are really helpful in the sense that I always found that it helped me learn more about myself and about the other person involved in the situation or people involved in the situation. And then it also helped me stop like blaming other people and help me see where I need to take accountability and things that I needed to change in order to help maybe prevent such situations, or things I can do to ensure that the situation doesn't really escalate or go too far. And then, most importantly, it made me feel so much better. So much better. Don't hold back either when you're writing or voicing out when the emotions are high and fresh. Don't hold back. Say what you want to say, let it out. It's better that you're putting it on paper or in your phone rather than saying it to someone else and then maybe later you regret saying what you said, right? Another really important thing to do in the midst of all of this is forgiving yourself. Again, letting go, forgiving the other person, and forgiving yourself are three different things. Three different things. But that's a topic for another video. But forgiveness for yourself is super important. Like I said, most of the time in the midst of these type of situations that you're dealing with, you may be really angry with yourself. Half of it could be that you're really angry with yourself. So you don't want to let that take over you. So you need to give yourself some grace and understand that with the knowledge you had and what you have learned through life, it's a learning process. You did the best you could. You did the best you could. And don't allow that to take control of you. Don't let it consume you. And this brings me into the next concept. When you allow something to consume you so much, right? That's when your past starts to become an excuse instead of motivation. You allow this thing to take control of you, and then you start making excuses for yourself and excuses for the way you're behaving or acting or responding to people. And you need to acknowledge that pain and hardship are real, but they do not define you. They do not define your growth or your maturity. Again, you choose whether or not to be broken. So channel it somewhere else. If you're into like manifestation and things like that, right? A big concept misconception is that manifestation's all about staying positive and staying in a good mood and not feeling negative. That's not true. And here's a prime example. Songwriters, some of the biggest hits are heartbreak songs, right? These artists wrote these lyrics and things like that when they were feeling horrible. But do you see how they channeled their energy into creating something, and the universe responded to that? God responded to that. They gave them what they wanted out of it. It's because God and the universe, or whatever you believe in, sees energy, not emotions. It sees your energy. So you need to understand that channeling your energy, do it mad, do it sad, do it tired, do it exhausted, do it depressed. The matter of the fact is that you're doing it. And you're not procrastinating. You're doing it in the moment. Because if you're not going to do it now, then when are you going to do it? You're just going to keep pushing it off, right? Also, don't let your past become an excuse. Don't let your emotions consume you, because like I said, you're going to make people collateral damage, people who don't deserve your lash outs and things like that when you blow up. And whatever you've been through, quite frankly, does not give you the right to treat people like crap. And it does not give you the right to throw your potential away. You should not be doing that. And if someone doubts you, show them up. Again, do it tired, do it mad, do it sad, do it depressed, do it exhausted. Just do it. Do it. Your opinion is the only opinion that matters at the end of the day. That is it. Stop asking people for their opinions, because you are allowing whatever fears, anxiety, self-doubt, limiting beliefs, all of that stuff, you're allowing all of that to taint your belief system. And why are you letting that happen? Why are you letting someone else's limiting beliefs tear you down? You only had that idea to begin with because deep down you know, your soul knows, your gut knows that you have the potential for it. People project their limiting beliefs. What do I mean by that? I mean that if the person you're talking to, if they personally think that it's something that they themselves cannot achieve, they are automatically going to think you can't either. Automatically. If they don't believe that they can do it, they're not going to believe that you can do it either. So if you have someone who's shutting you down, that is someone you should no longer be asking advice from. That is someone you should no longer be talking to for their opinion. Don't take criticism from anyone you would not take advice from, and vice versa. Don't take advice from anyone that you would not sit there and hear criticism from. Don't do it. You need to. And it's fine if you have someone that you trust will give you an honest perspective and you're just looking for some honesty. That's okay. Take it into account. Take it into account. But don't let it make the decision for you. You still need to sit down at the end of the day and make your own decision and think about it. So do that. And again, you can shift the way you say things. This is another little switch to flip to help you not allow your past to become an excuse. Instead of being like, oh yeah, I act like this because this happened, or I'm the way that I am because this happened to me, say, because this happened to me, I learned this about myself, or I learned this about life. It's all about reflecting on your goals. If you can flip it and look at it from a better perspective, that is going to help you feel better. That is going to help you think more positively. And positivity equals motivation, right? Yes, positivity helps you move towards your manifestations, but again, it's all about the energy. It's all about putting in the work. It's all about consistency. Consistency is the key to success. But if you are going to let procrastination and self-doubt kill that consistency, you will never see that success. You won't. You won't. And you can't let other people control you. You cannot let other people control your emotions. And this brings me to another thing to talk about that kind of, it ties in with the concept that you cannot control other people. So why are you allowing them to control you, right? And I saw this in a video. I can't remember exactly from what. This was over a year ago that I saw this, I think. And it was a quote: "A fire doesn't ask to burn, it just does." Get it? Another person is not going to ask to hurt you. They just will. They're just going to do it. They're not going to ask you, hey, can I do this to hurt you? No. They control their decisions, right? They control themselves. So why are they going to ask you? But this also goes the other way for you. Why are you asking permission to light your spark? Why are you asking permission to burn and shine? You don't need permission from other people to be who you are and be yourself. So why are you asking others for that? You can either let a fire destroy you or harness it to ignite your own flames and your own energy and become the best version of yourself. I used to stand there and try and figure out why a fire had begun and allow myself to continue to get burned when I should have been running the other way to tend to my wounds. And I'm trying to figure it out, how it started, how to put it out, to see if that will give me closure. Like I said, that's just gonna piss you off more. It's just gonna piss you off more. Don't do that. And you can go and figure out what started the fire after it's calmed down. That means confronting someone, do it. Again, at the end of the day, it's your peace that matters and your opinion that matters. And if that means going and confronting the person who hurt you and talking to them, do it. If you think that's going to bring you some closure, do it. You will know if it will give you closure or not. You will know if it's going to piss you off more, which is fine. Maybe it's what you need to hear. Maybe you need to hear or see for your own eyes, like the body language and the way the person's reacting when you confront them, to get your answer and to really understand what you should be doing next, how to move forward from it. Should you just be cutting them off? Should you be trying to fix this relationship with the bond with them, whatever it is? Or do you need to just say, bye, we're done? And no one's going to light that match for you. No one's going to spark this flame for you. You need to do that yourself. Why are you stopping yourself from doing the things that you're supposed to do for yourself? When I say you don't need permission to burn, I don't mean hurt other people. Don't do that. Don't do that. But if you're talking to someone and you're asking them for their opinion and they truly don't support you for your decision, or they're telling you to not do anything about it or let it go or forgive them, I'm going to be brutally honest, that just means they don't understand where you're coming from. And they don't understand why you made the decision to do what you did. And they don't understand the impact that the situation had on you. And those are the people that you should not be asking advice from. You should not be asking opinions from, nor should you be taking criticism from either. At all. At all. And the reason why I say that they don't understand you is because I've been in your shoes. No matter how much you try to make that person understand, if they're still saying to you, no, I don't think you should do it, I don't think you should do it, they're not comprehending what you're saying. Either they just can't comprehend what you're saying, or they're choosing not to comprehend what you're saying. Not sure which one it is. I had that situation happen to me. There was something that happened to me a couple years ago that dealt with a couple of people who hurt me, and I didn't find out about it for a good while later, like a good couple of months. And I wanted to confront them. I wanted to say something to those people. And the person who had told me about it, I went and I asked opinions from people around me. They all kept saying, don't do anything about it. It's been months now. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. And I kept asking them, like, why? Why should I leave it alone? You don't understand. You guys knew. It's been months. Or maybe you're just finding out about it too and you're telling me. But to me, this is fresh. To me, this is brand new. My emotions are fresh. They're new because I'm finding out about it now. And clearly, they didn't understand the impact that that had on me because they just weren't in my shoes. So I knew that I needed to not ask them for their opinions anymore, and I needed to come up with a game plan myself. That game plan resulted in confronting those people. I did not get the answer I was looking for. I did not get the answer that I thought I was going to get. And it pissed me off more. But I needed to hear it because I realized that those people need to go. They need to be out of my life. And then they were gone. And my life is that much more peaceful now, right? Without them. So, on all of this all ties into channeling your energy, manifestation, if that's what you believe in, law of attraction, things like that. Every little thought, every little doubt is like a little seed in your head, right? And those little seeds are either going to grow or die. Now, if all of your crops are dead, you don't have produce to consistently sell, right? To grow. So, make sure you're channeling your energy. Make sure you're finding something to channel your energy. And I promise you're going to be okay at the end of all of it. You're going to be just fine. You can't understand the light without knowing what the dark is, right? You don't appreciate the light without knowing what the dark is. You don't see stars during the day. It has to be dark for you to see the stars, right? When I saw that quote as well, it made me appreciate the things that I went through even more, because I wouldn't know how good my life has gotten if I didn't understand how bad it was. And you know that you've grown when you truly understand how far you've come. And when you look back, and instead of getting mad at the things happened, or your blood boiling again, or your emotions getting high, you actually appreciate what you went through, because you needed to go through that in order to be here right now. And smiling through the pain, so much harder. So much harder. Walking away, so much harder than just blurting out what you're thinking in the moment. But again, like I said in the beginning, how you choose to respond is what's going to set the tone. So doing the thing that takes more strength to do, that will help you a lot with your growth and your transformation, and help you when it comes to reflecting and learning. Because sometimes you end up saying something that you really regret in the moment of pain. Like I said, it's better to do a voice memo or write it in a journal, right? So that you don't say something to someone that you may regret saying afterwards in the heat of the moment. And again, confront them if it makes you feel better once you've taken the time to heal. But do it with a clear head. Do it with a clear head and a calm heart. Because you don't want to show them that you are bothered. You don't want to show that something's gotten under your skin. It's a psychological fact that silence shifts the power. It really bugs another person when you don't give them a reaction. Then they start overthinking. They start trying to figure out what the heck is going on. Why are they quiet? It really makes them question themselves. So, at the end of the day, learn to channel your energy. Do it sad, do it tired, do it mad, do it exhausted, do it depressed. Just do it. Embrace your emotions with full intensity, because you're going to feel it anyway. And then just do things with a clear head. Take your time. You have the right to take your time. And when you do this, nothing will ever get under your skin again. And when I say that, I mean you're going to be able to snap out of it a lot faster. So sorry for the background noise. Because I'm going to be honest with you, like I was earlier, you are going to overthink and stress a little bit when your emotions are high. But it's all about learning how to snap out of it. That's all you need to do. It's all about learning how to ground yourself and balance yourself. And if you can find ways to do that, you are going to feel so much better. And I hope you guys try my method and it helps you. And if it doesn't help you, I hope it at least kickstarts some ideas on how you can handle it and how you can get your emotions balanced and in control and grounded. But yeah, pain's not your enemy. Emotions aren't your enemy. They're your teachers, okay? You need to shift your perspective. Shift it. Turn your wounds into wisdom, okay? And your wounds have turned into wisdom when you look back at it and you appreciate it instead of your emotions getting high. But a couple of quotes, last few empowering quotes. Let your pain shape you, not break you. Turn your wounds into wisdom. Pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher, right? And lastly, I know this is something you may not want to hear, but you need to hear it. I know I needed to hear it. I didn't want to hear it at all, but I needed to, and I needed to hear it constantly. You will be okay. I promise you will be okay. I know you don't want to hear it, but you will be okay. This too shall pass. You got it. And I hope that whatever it is that you are going through, I hope that it passes quickly and as painlessly as possible. I know I said pain's inevitable, but still, I hope it hurts a little less. But I will see you guys in the next video. I love you all very much. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed.